Yo, 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 my people. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Danny AFC TV. Just going to get the old charger port ready because you know what, guys? I don't like running around during the streams and it happens to me always. I'm not going to call myself late today, but I'm 100% not early. What's going on, real ones? Please be hitting the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we is new. Shouts out to all the realest and dearest for the channel. Shouts out to Dedication TV, WB, who's up in the building. UE, all the boys from the group. Jean Arby, Joe, the regulars. Just shouts out to us all. How's everyone feeling after the North London derby? Continuing from last night's talk, you know what I mean? A little worrying. Is it a mini injury crisis would come along? Would this be enough to derail our season? With Man United, it's like not really an injury crisis. Well, they've got their injuries similar to them, but then they've got this added pressure of having wingers that they can't really play. They lost one winger, Greenwood, and then they've got this whole Anthony and Sancho situation. Is this basically going to derail a couple of giants like Arsenal and Man United? Is it going to derail our seasons, or are we big enough to come through this? Liverpool, for me, without looking fantastic, guys, and I've mentioned this now since literally the game one of the season, I didn't think it was going to be like bad like last year. I thought they could only improve. I did say it pretty straight on this channel. I like people like Darwin Núñez, and I'm doing at Darwin Núñez. And I do expect him to come good at Liverpool Football Club. Do you know what I mean? And I feel, again, they're probably not that far. They're a couple of key signings away from really challenging Man City again. So even though with our progression as a club, yes, I'll say progression, it's always, again, are we still going to lack come the end of this season? As I've said, we've got, which I call a 9-game run, is now down to 6. Not including the very next game against Brentford, win, lose or draw. I don't really care, Caravan Cup, but it's nice to have a run in all competitions. Do you know what I mean? And I don't see why we wouldn't be and shouldn't be equipped to have a go at all the competitions. It's time, like I was saying last night. Good evening, Joe. The Enwaris, the Dewberries, possibly even Lewis Skelly. How about that left back, Souza? I don't think he went out on anywhere on loan. Yeah. It's time to see these kids. Definitely people I can worry. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be losing these kids for nothing to Guardiola's or Nwari to Chelsea and have many regrets. Like, we don't do enough with the some players that do come for academy. Saka aside, like, look at Emil Smith Rowe. I'm sure a manager could have got more out of him, you know? And for me, it seems like his Arsenal career will come to an end. Right now, Thomas Partey, even if he was fit, he'd be playing right back or wouldn't be in the team at all. I don't know. But wouldn't it be a little godsend now if just Thomas Partey was fit? Like, I've always told, and I've told all of you, this Havertz in central midfield is not going to work. Vieira has proved just as straggly in the central midfield. And in January, is Arteta a big enough man? Forget money at the moment. Is he a big enough man to say, do you know what, I've made a mistake. We need a Zubimendi. We need to go for a Tuchemeni at Real Madrid, or we need to go for a Camavinga, you know? Something firmer and stronger, which is required in the Premier League. Like, we needed a Saicedo, do you know what I mean? We go knocking on Everton's door for an Anana, looking for a cheaper option, even though they are being taken over. And let's start off with you, Joe. How are you doing, my brother? Hi, Danny. Hi, everyone. How you doing? Just went low off to bed early tonight as Barbara's dialysis in the morning. Brother, well, please get a big like on the video, my friend. Hope that all go fine. You know, your good friend Ty is here. Shouts out to you, Joe. Thank you for the love and support. Just to come in. Always does help the channel. And yeah, I don't know if you have any other social media. Who knows? Post it, Facebook, anything. Ty, what are you saying, bros? Again, I said something a couple of... I can't hear anything. Okay, can you hear now? Can you hear now? You're going to make me check. Is everything fine now? I'm sure Joe would have said. I'm sure Joe would have said. Where was I? So basically, yes, with the progression. Guys, I thought Newcastle might have a starter this season. You know, Champions League football, they're looking all right. You know, we know they got beat by Man City, whatnot. Do you know what I mean? They've had their couple of difficult games, but 8-0 away Sheffield United, man. I don't think many people are going Bramall Lane or whatever it's called, if it's still called Bramall Lane, are going Sheffield United and getting a 8-0 victory. Newcastle look good. Tottenham, I'm interested to see what Manny's thoughts on this. Like, just imagine if they did have Kane. I don't know. Like, I think they're Kane and a central midfielder short. That front four, apart from Johnson yesterday, it's good. Son, Krewski, Maddison. And it makes Arsenal look more ridiculous when Maddison at £40 million is fucking us around yesterday, but we're bringing on our 65 million attacking midfielder, Kia Havertz, who's fucking shit. Manny, what are you saying? Shame about the North London derby. I hope we don't get stung by the bees on Wednesday. Well, this is the thing, Manny. Which way do you go? Do you go full strength? Do you want to see the Anwaris? Do you want to see Dewberry? Because Nketiah, as you can see, is kind of a starter now. And if you like, he's actually a starter, possibly ahead of Jesus. Do you know what I mean? But when you look at it, Jesus' goal record ain't that great, but neither is Nketiah. Ivan Toney is looking more and more like a sensible option in January. The more and more I think about it, even though Ivan Toney was never number one for us, for me, for Arsenal, etc., mate, it's looking like it almost has to be done. Or we start looking at something like a Dusan Vlahovic if he's still available. I'm hearing Dusan Vlahovic or at least Federico Chiesa. For financial reasons, one will probably have to go. Thank you so much. My mate who supports Celtic and knows Ange, well, says Kane leaving is a blessing. A bit like the Alan Shearer retired from England duty on St. Michael. And I do believe in that, but I also believe what a crock of shit. I've watched Ange for 2 years solid. It's not only just the Catholic roots, my family, mum, auntie, God bless them all. It's, do you know, with like just networks like Sky or whatever out there these days, bruvs, they're always in your face, the big old firm derbies, whatever. And the only thing Ange didn't do for me was make them any better in Europe. You know what I mean? Like, he should have sort of been calculated enough to get knocked out of the Champions League straight away and get into the Europa League and try and have a run like Rangers. That's all I wanted Ange to prove, but probably he might have needed another season or two. What I'm saying is, bruvs, you could see the difference in Celtic. The week before he came in, they were an average team, still the best team in Scotland, but that didn't take much. Bruvs, when he came in, it was almost like an awesome, Kamala, respect my brother, please stay there for a second. When Ange Postecoglou went to Celtic, mate, it was almost like Arsene Wenger coming to Arsenal back in '96. It was like he was rejuvenating and generating Scottish football, bruvs. His attack is almost, I'd say like Emery, but even double more intense. It's attack. And I don't believe it's a blessing, bro. I believe if he has Kane now, they're a much better team. They possibly get 3 points at the Emirates. That's for him to have a striker now, not Richarlison, or not put in Son or Johnson up front. Believe me, bros. What do you think? Ange Postecoglou's an idiot. Give him a good striker, even give him Ivan Toney. But mate, with Kane there, they're even more dangerous this season. So that was a bit of a nonsense one. A lot of people are suggesting it, but it's nonsense. Son has looked great and will continue to shine. Several players in this squad Spurs team couldn't boil water. But bros, you could say that about Bissouma. Bissouma becoming a much better player is just because Andrew's showing faith in him. Ndoggy, the left back, bros. Do you know what I mean? I think Conte put him down as a club signing, so he was never going to make it under Conte, etc. So yeah, he's breathed new life, bros. But we all knew deep down at 25 million. Bissouma was a good footballer. Better than Lokonga. We bought them around similar times. Do you know what I mean? And he's using the best to his resources. And anyone that doesn't toe that line or works like a motherfucker, like Pep Guardiola style, because left backs, right backs, wingers, they've all got to put in a shift. It's higher energy, full throttle stuff. And as for Son, he's had a season or two that was a bit funny. You know what I mean? But so have Tottenham. He was always going to come good again. Son is, again, I do say this literally for every Asian player that I've sent, even Kyrgios at Celtic. They've got this crazy high impact energy levels. Like, do you know what I mean? What they lack for in brute skill and calmness and composure in goal is made up for by absolute 2,000% effort. That is almost superhuman at times. Kamala, what's good, my G? What are you making of the season? As I said after 9 games, I'll predict our whole season. That was the last of that 9 is against Seville. We're 3 down, obviously. I don't care about the Caravan Cup. to make it 4 down, basically. Do you know what I mean? But the next 5, Bournemouth, we've got Man City at home, we've got Chelsea away, even though Chelsea are a bit shit, but they have to come good at some point. It's tricky, bruvs, and I'll sort of know the measurements of like Champions League. I take it we're going to finish top and get out of this group if the next 2 games go like I suggest. A win at Lens and the minimum of a draw at Seville. But I worry, bros. We're an injury away of a crisis. Look, if Saliba got injured like last season, we're banging trouble. We hear Rice and the other boys injured, Martinelli, Trossard, should be back for Man City. But even just with them 3 injured yesterday, and shouts out to UE on this, yeah, you have to say, on the Emirates pitch yesterday, we had Emil Smith-Rowe, Nketiah, Jorginho, and Nelson. Are them 4 players good enough for Arsenal? Jorginho, Nelson, Nketiah, Emil Smith-Rowe. They all finished the North London derby yesterday. They all played right to the end. Well, sorry, Nketiah played to the end. This is half the problem. A lot of people was like, oh, but we're buying Jorginho, Jacob, and Trossard last January for strength in depth. Well, we still don't seem to have that much strength in depth. I'd rather go with Dewberry now, see what he's like on Tuesday, Wednesday against Brentford, because we could end up losing him to Pep Guardiola. Contrary to what most Arsenal fans believe, Nketiah, and Wari never signed a new deal. He's 6 months through the last year of his scholarship, and he's free to sign a new deal on his birthday in 6 months' time. Word on road is, will Wari still be at Arsenal? Respect. I get your point, Big D. I also think that in January, he might jettison Richarlison and look for a striker. Exactly. Get ready to basically. Do not be surprised if they hijack RB for Tony, and that's what I've already said. Imagine a Tony for them. Forget Harry Kane at the moment. Do you know what I mean? But believe me, if you ask Ange Postecoglou, bruvs, on not Manny's theory, but everyone else's theory that Tottenham are doing better because Kane is there, I'm sure he would laugh it off as ridiculous and just say, you know what I mean? I wish things had been different. But we move on. Tottenham are a striker away, then that front 4 is fine, barring injuries, yeah? Krajewski, Son, Maddison providing the ammo, and a Kane-like striker. I believe they're a central midfielder and maybe a defender away. Do you know what I mean? The goalkeeper's even looking all right for them. That could have been a weak link. Good evening, Linda, and everyone at his village and Village Fried and from the village. How are you? Lovely picture. Not winning nothing with Eddie and Fabio. Both get bullied all over the shop. Yeah, mate, don't get it. Do you know what I mean? Call me what you like. Call me negative, pessimistic. It's bullshit, mate. Eddie Buzz, go look at the scoring records. He scored 16 Premier League goals for Arsenal. Haaland come to this country and done that in about 5 games last year. Seriously, 5 or 6 games last season. Yeah? His first season in England, Haaland done that in 5 or 6 games. 7, 8 maybe, the max. Nketiah could play for seasons and just won't get the numbers. Like, he's not a bad player, but with all that ammunition and attacks we provide and give strikers opportunities at Arsenal, do you know what I mean? Like, imagine that cunt in Everton or a Burnley. He'd be one of them strikers that would honestly come back with 2 goals a season. Do you know what I mean? Eddie, he just needs to go to Scotland, somewhere like that, mate. He'll be all right. He'll be all right at Celtic. He'll be the top man. Do you know what I mean? He's got to just go and figure out how Celtic can give him 100 grand a week. And he'll be the top man in Scotland. Do you know what I mean? That's his level. Like, that England thing was a joke. That just gives him even more confidence. And it seems it's even harder for Arsenal to get rid of him. That England cap was a joke. But it shows you what a joke Southgate is. Harry Maguire. What a fucking joke. Do you know what I mean? I don't get it. I've got nothing against Harry Maguire. He doesn't play for my club. So I don't have to get upset about it otherwise. And I'm not patriotic. But fuck me. If I really loved England and I was an England fan and really an England fan and very patriotic, I'd be fuming to think, what is this? The best my country's got to offer? What, Maguire? I don't know, mate. I don't believe we're winning anything, mate. I believe the FA Cup and League Cup will go because of our struggles to try and keep up with the top 4 and keeping up with this new Saturday, Tuesday or Sunday, Wednesday League and Champions League. Good point, mate. We're not winning nothing. I reckon we're top 4, but I struggle at that. Man City, obviously top 4. Tottenham, Liverpool, Arsenal, all key for top 4. Do you know what I mean? Thank fuck Man United and Chelsea have started so bad. Don't forget Newcastle, though. Newcastle will want to keep on to that top 4. Right, the loss of Perisic is a huge blow for them, though. Still at his age, he is very skillful and dynamic. And I'd agree with that. Well, it should have been against Arsenal, and I do believe they've got Liverpool next, bro. So let's just say they collected a minimum of a point against Liverpool. Would you say their defence hasn't been tested? They've played now Arsenal and Liverpool, two teams that should finish top four this year. Because if they get a point of both us and Liverpool, I might reverse it and say one of us are going to lose our top four to Tottenham. But in saying that anyway, honestly, Andrew's got to have a very sticky patch within this season. You can't just be hell for leather, attack, brave heart, attack. Surely you'll get bit somewhere along the line. Do you know what I mean? But he doesn't change his brand of football, and it will be as you are at Tottenham. To be honest with you, provided we get past Bournemouth away in our next game, yeah, and I do suspect we will get 3 points. We're already 4 points behind Man City. Tyler, hand on heart. And we don't beat Man City, you know what I mean, home or away. We didn't last year. Do you know what I mean? We don't get points from Man City, bros. We get knocked out if it's the cup, as you see last year. After Bournemouth, bros, we're playing Man City next. In 2 games, we're playing Man City. Can you honestly see us getting a draw or even winning? And it is at the Emirates Stadium. But, bros, we've dropped 4 points at the Emirates now, Fulham and Tottenham. Come on, man. Look what Man City done to Fulham, bros. Like, we didn't do that to Fulham. So can you see the people in the stream? Kamala, Manny, Linda, Tyler. Can you see Arsenal getting a result? So the next 3 games is Brentford away, Bournemouth away, Lons away, Champions League, then Sharp back. That's 3 away games, and then home to Man City. Can you see us winning or whatever against Man City? All right, Newcastle scored plenty of goals, but I do predict they will drop off. They should never have lost to Liverpool, and I think they'll struggle against better defences. Well, they're a bit spoily, bruvs. I'll be honest with you. Look at Arsenal Newcastle last year. What did we do against them? At the Emirates, it was 0-0. We couldn't get past that defence. If Harvey Barnes and Tinelli come to fruition, like their other signings, the Bruno Guimaraes and the Isaacs, they're not short of goals, as in Isaac Wilson. Do you know what I mean? Anthony Gordon, for me, is looking like a new player, bruvs. Seriously, he changed the game yesterday. It was 0-0 when he come on the pitch for an injured Harvey Barnes. So I still worry about Newcastle. Realistically, Cup runs, Champions League, you're right, they should fall off. But they look fine at the moment. Remember, they've lost to Man City, bros. We're going to lose to Man City in 2 games' time, Kamala. And as we both know, they should never have lost to Liverpool. But that's why I'm worried about Liverpool this season. Because even if they're not playing well and Salah ain't on song, they're pulling out points, mate. But massively good point, as always, big man. Manny, I'm optimistic we're winning. I'm fucking not. I love it. But again, why would you sell him? With no fair chance. He has scored more goals in 1 season on loan, last season in France, yeah, than Nketiah has scored Premier League goals. In 1 season on loan, he has scored more goals than this prick has scored in his Arsenal career in 5-6 years. What does Arteta see? Should have got Balogun and Doozy and Bind Eddie and Nelson. And they're both on 100 grand a week now, bros. Both of them. So imagine your average Bournemouth, Brentford, Brighton did want to buy any of these cocksuckers. Bros, it's going to be hard with them on 100 grand a week and 5-year deals. Seriously, missing Xhaka fighting the team. Honestly, no, that's not even been a question, apart from the second half against Tottenham. Declan Rice, manages a midfield, bros. By himself, with no Partey or Xhaka alongside him. Remember, he's got an attacking midfield. He's got 2 attacking midfielders alongside him. It's hard work for Rice, bros. And I commend him for being such a soldier. And I pay 200 mil for him, bros. Because, mate, the longer you put Odegaard and Havertz alongside him in the midfield, the more he's going to be getting these little niggly injuries, bros. Because he's doing more work than he ever had to at fucking West Ham, mate. Do you know what I mean? At least he had a Noble alongside him some seasons. Bro, with Thomas Partey or Xhaka, he'll be looking much better, mate. Do you know what I mean? But he's controlling so much now, and he's already looking so good. And I believe he only gets better in games against like Man City and Liverpool's and Newcastle's, the big teams. No, because we're one. We are, because we are shit, sorry. And the Balogun thing, yeah. Frightening decision. £38 million. Like, how much of a financial decision was it? We'd sold Granit Xhaka, we'd sold Matt Turner, we had sold Rob Holding, and only 4 mil. Do you know what I mean? We should have just refused to sell Tavares. But again, you think that's where is this guy racist, slightly, Arteta? But it ain't racist. It's just if he doesn't like a person. Tierney was obviously on the naughty boy stick, and Tavares, so they both had to go. But we ain't got a backup for Zinchenko, bros. I think that's terrible man management. Fucking disgusting. He was so pissed with Thomas Partey at the start of the season, he's willing to play him as a right back. Do you know what I mean? And not in central midfield. He wants to play Kia Havertz ahead of him. It's horrible. Just seeing that KDB could be fit and Kozovic is still injured and Rodri is suspended. No Stones either. So an unfit Calvin Phillips. He won't put Calvin Phillips in. He'll put the new geezer in from Wolves. Mateus Nunes, whatever his name is. The new kid from Wolves. Struggle to win over Bournemouth. City will smoke us. Brentford, I wouldn't be surprised. What kind of team would you like, Kamala, first of all, out against Brentford? Would you like to be competitive? Do you want to go and attack the game like to win the game? Or would you rather go with Skelly, Anwari, El Neni, Reece Walters, the defender, Souza, the defender? I don't know. I'd put Havertz up front, whatever happens, because he ain't going to play Jesus. Do you know what I mean? I worry, and if Martin Elliott Trossard is back against Bournemouth, who does he actually really play up front? He seems to not be happy with Jesus at the moment, and I'm definitely sensing that vibe. 100% I'm sensing that vibe. So whether you agree with me or not, Gooners, that is how I'm feeling on it. Shout out to everyone on the TikTok, all of the social medias. Please be liking, please be subscribing. That means you also, Kamala. Let's try and shake up some people from the group. Let's get some people in. Joe's in and out, as we know. Here we go. I'm live. Let's try and shake up some people. Let's get a couple of likes on the video, please, guys. In and out, as we know. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry, people. Live now. Yeah, let me just send this out real quick. So I'm not seeing it as great, Kamala. Imagine if Saliba got injured. Like, we've only got 3 central defenders really at the club. We've got Gabriel, Saliba, and then who? Ben White. But Ben White has to play right back at the moment because there's no Timber. There's only one left back. We're one defensive injury away from a bit of a disaster. If it's a left back, we've got no left backs. We'll have to play a centre back there, Jacob. If it was a right back, Ben White, that's 2 right backs down. But I suppose at least you got Tommy. Boy, mate, it ain't great. Kamala, shouts out to you. Before you do disappear into the evening, what is your thoughts on that? Why did that fail to send to Robson? There we go. Did he get my number? I don't know. I'm a bit confused. So sorry, people. Let me just grab a couple of people into stream. Please be in the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we're new people. A very, very quiet stream this evening. Never mind, you can't win them all, as they say in the trade. Just try and get a couple of people from the old Twitter. Why is the link not working? This phone, I'm telling you, is moving a little bit slowly. I'm telling you. Fucking brand new iPhone, it's moving slowly. I'm going to fucking send it back. I'm going to say, fuck you lot. I can't pay a bill like this. Nope. All right, forget that. Let's just go back over there. Let's go. Oh, God. I'm too much of a fuck here. I'm too fast with the old fingers. Quickly over to WhatsApp, people. Right, where are we? Tyler's in the place. Guys, please be in the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we're new. Let me just quickly check one thing here, guys. Right, interesting. Oh, God. How many times do I do that? Do you know you can do that by accident? It's so easy. Let me read what Tyler's saying. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. One more, guys. I've almost pressed it again. That would have been a hat trick. 3 out of 3 times I hit the fucking report button. How dumb could I be? Right, guys. Let me just do this. We do that. Do that. And fuck it. Right. Arsenal. So much negativity on here. Why would you say that though, Ty? Alright, cool. Basing our last 6 results against Man City, which have been 6 defeats, I'm just saying, it doesn't look great. What I'm saying is, for me to feel massively confident, like Rice went off injured. Imagine if Rice was injured against Man City, bros. I'm saying we don't go down. We go down really bad. Do you know what I mean? What I'm saying is, Ty, for all of the work Arteta's done, Craig, I know, is 100% going to back this up. It isn't just about being negative, Ty. And I do get you. I do want to be confident, which I have been. Like, people must be thinking I'm being super clean, cool, Danny, on my streams recently, because I ain't aiming at Arteta. I like to see the realistic side of things. But when you do neglectful things for the club, like he talks about doing the right thing for the club. I love this club. I want to do the right thing by the club. So, Craig, stay here. Do you think if you've got 3 pretty good left backs, Zinchenko, Tavares, Tierney, if you can't sell one of them, you let one of them go on loan? Why let 2 go on loan? I don't care if you're 27, you need match minutes on the pitch, whatever. Again, we are 1 defender away from a bit of an injury fucking crisis. If Saliba went down, God forbid. If it was Jacob, God forbid. Do you know what I mean? If Ben White went down, all right, Tommy would take his place, but that's 2 right backs down. If Zinni went, there's a left back down. We've got no more at the club. You're going to play a Polish geezer called Jacob. Do you know what I mean? It ain't that great, Ty. We're a Premier League team. We were meant to be going for a title race last year. We should have been stronger in all areas for me. Declan Rice, yes, we're stronger. On the wing, we stayed the same. Up front, in Nketiah, Jesus, we stayed the same. We had a kid on loan who scored more goals than Jesus and Nketiah combined. And bro, he had no one around him. I know for a fact you can't name one player that was at Rems apart from Balogun last year. So he had no stars to provide the assists, but still found himself 21 league goals. Even just having Balogun providing competition for Jesus and Nketiah would have been a stronger strike force than last season. In the defence, we're unlucky. We bought Timber, who probably can play right back, left back, and centre back. He started off at Arsenal. That's a different story. I don't want him playing left. I think he's a right back. But anyway, you get an injury like that, your improved defence has gone back to where you was. It's the exact same defence as last year. That there's bad luck, Ty. I'm not aiming at that. A lot of Arsenal fans are like, we must get a replacement. We must get a Timber replacement. Or we have to play Ben White and Tomiyasu all over again. I know financially we're not Man City. We're not Chelsea. Yeah, we're not PSG. We can't just buy replacements for 7, 8, 9, 10 months. Because then what happens to the replacement? You know? But when you let 2 left backs, where have you gone, Ty? Because I want you to answer that. I'm not being negative, brother. Seriously, that's almost offensive. But when you have 3 left backs, like you must have liked either Tavares or Tierney. And considering, bro, deep it, we've got no money for them. Very small loan fees. Fuck a loan fee, bruv. I bet our own players, we haven't even put a return clause in January. Like, you know, Chelsea or Man United or Man City or Liverpool, any big club or self-respecting club will say, yeah, if we get injuries, we can recall our players. Even if they're our players, Tierney and Tavares, I bet we ain't got recall clauses if Zinchenko is injured at fucking... Say Zinchenko gets injured on December the 29th. That's all right. We can get Tierney back on the 1st. I bet we've signed it into the contract. We can't recall him. Because we always do that. But they won't take him, bros. No one will take Havertz. They might take Nketiah, but the thing is, bros, not even Ivan Toney, who's tripled the player Nketiah is. He doesn't earn that at Brentford, bros. Do you know what I mean? Brentford have to at least equal his Arsenal wages, 100 grand a week. Arsenal have done the Johan Giroud, the Nicholas Bentner situation all over again, the Nilsson situation under Arsene Wenger, when we gave very average players very high contracts, and then you can't get rid of them. Slapdash. You should let me do it. Well, come then. Come do it. Come do it better, bros. That's what I say. Simple, sharp answer. Tomorrow in a manner. Come on in. If Declan Rice... Hold on. If Declan Rice and a backup injury like Saliba did last season, feck all this. Exactly. We will not... Hold on. Whoa. Last season, fuck all this PR. We will not be available for the Man City game. Look at how many games Saliba missed for a back injury. Exactly, bros. But you know what? You know, Craig, I did have a conspiracy theory on this. Do you know what I mean? WB was at the game and actually said nothing went near him or touched him. And I know Saliba was just about to start a dispute with the club saying that he had to be, yeah, because of the way they treated him, sent him out on loan, and now he's only got 12 months left on his contract. His agents weren't very nice when it comes sitting down with Edu, the Kronkers, etc. They went into that with a blaze of glory. We are the best defender at your club. Our client is the best defender at your club. And you've whipped out new deals for whatever. Zinchenko earns 150,000 a week. We need to be earning more than him straight away. We need to be earning more than Gabriel. Do you know what I mean? They made it be known. Kieran Tierney's on 110 grand a week. If you believe Arteta, Edu, Kronka, that KT is worth 110 grand a week, we believe we're worth 400 grand a week. So that's why the Saliba contracts, even though it wasn't those people like me panicking, that's why it was all in hand, because the agents just walked in and they said it was very brief and we made it clear and we told them to be very careful. Do not phone us with a counter offer because we will fuck you. And that's why the Saliba deal was so fucking simply done. Do you know what I mean? But look at the Havertz wages, Tyler. Tyler, who do you think should be the Arsenal's top earner right now? Considering Odegaard has just signed a new deal, who do you think Arsenal's top scorer earner is? Yeah? And would you be surprised if I said Kia Havertz earned over 300 grand a week and he earns more than Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Saliba? Would you be surprised at that comment? Because it isn't I'm negative. I just get pissed off for the clubs, bros. We spend 65 million and make this little cunt Havertz our top earner. Bros, he ain't doing nothing for us right now. Injury crisis, we can't rely on fucking Havertz. And yeah, bros, I don't know. Declan Rice is English, bulldog, a soldier. I just pray to God. Maybe I'm just praying that he's back. Negative rant about... Again, you can call it negative. I'm calling it... I predicted and called all of this. I said we needed a traditional... Manny will tell you this. I know UE, all the boys from the group. If Juma was here, UE was here, they'll be saying it the way it was. Jean Arby, if he was here, they'll be saying it the way it was. Honestly, bros, I said every position we needed. I said I didn't mind KT and Tavares being sold to raise money for further signings. You know what I mean? I told everyone Havertz was a bad signing. I told everyone Havertz would never be a central midfielder. And we've got to try him as an attacking mid. That isn't negative, bros, because I'm being proved right. We're 6 games down, 7 games down. We've drawn 2 games. Man City haven't dropped a point, bros. Let me tell you something else, Ty. I'm not trying to annoy you, but this is statistical. This is stats here. Do you know when Liverpool nicked the Premier League title that 1 year of Man City? Bro, do you know? And go and Google this, because you're going to be stunned. Count the points, my friend. Do you know the first 28 league games of the season, yeah? Liverpool won 26 in a row. Out of 28 games, they won 26 and drew 2. Bro, we've already drawn 2. So that means, theoretically a little bit, but statistically, if we want to win the league over Man City, what I'm saying is, brother, you have to have basically a perfect season. Liverpool had a perfect season and they won the league. Liverpool had a perfect season and got over 90 points. The year after, they finished second. Can we win 26 games in a row in the league now, Ty? And Man City are next, or after Bournemouth, they're next. I don't believe we can. Is that negative of me? I don't believe we can beat Man City, let alone the next 25 games after that in a row. You have to be perfect to win the league over Man City, bros. Honestly, I'm not taking the piss. The YouTube channel isn't like some myth or la la la. I'm being deadly serious on this, bro. And now that I've seen us draw 2 games, yes, one is to Tottenham, a very good Tottenham team. But then again, they've just lost their star, Harry Kane. You know what I mean? Fulham, 10 men Fulham at home, bruv. Teams that win the title beat 10 men Fulham at home. Man City have already beat them, I think, away 5-0. Man City's B striker, Alvarez, yeah? I promise you, bros. Remember what name I said? Alvarez. Yeah? Man City's backup striker. He will outscore Jesus and Nketiah. Probably the both of them combined. He'll outscore them and he's a reserve. But he'll blatantly outscore our star boy, Jesus. And he don't get no time ahead of Haaland, bros. We know this. Haaland's the man. So why can Man City's backup bit striker that no one heard of, he's only 2021, why is he better than Jesus? And he's starting 11 for Wednesday. I'm not, bruvs. It's pretty easy. In goal, Ramsdale. At right back, he hasn't played that much. No, right back, Reece Waters. Left back, Tomiyasu. Centre back, you might laugh, but I don't want to play Saliba or Gabriel, and we got no one else. This is what I'm saying to Ty. We got no one else. At least when Holding was there, you could play Holding, even though I hated him, and I'm glad he's gone. But we've got no other central defenders. Even from the academy, Omar Rekik is on loan. So my central defence would be Jacob and El Neni. Yes, I said it, El Neni. Yeah? Because we ain't got no backup left backs. So our centre back, the Polish kid, Jacob, has to play left back as he's left footed. So again, Ramsdale, Jacob, Tommy, El Neni, and Reece Waters is the defence. In midfield, Enwari, Emil Smith-Rowe, Jorginho. So Enwari and Jorginho are the 2 central midfielders, with Emil Smith-Rowe just ahead of them. On the left wing, I play Dewberry. On the right wing, I play Nelson. Up front, I play Kia Havertz. It's quite simple for me on Wednesday, mate. Does anyone agree with my team? Danny, I don't care if Arsenal finished 12th in the Premier League. George Graham did that, but he went on to win a double. Did Arsenal fans care where we finished? No, they didn't, because we won trophies. Very, very true. And again, Arteta couldn't mastermind fucking an 89 kind of season. Remember, George Graham had no budget. Did he buy anyone at the start of that season? Do you know what I mean? George Graham never had a budget at Arsenal. Seriously, they shocked the world when they spent over £1 million for a goalkeeper, David Seaman. I'm even surprised we got Ian Wright for £2.5 million. And where was the mistakes? Where was the high-profile mistakes? I can't think of no mistake apart from the guy that got him sacked, Paul Ladison at 500,000. All right, he might have signed a Eddie McGoldrick here. John Hartson, was that a mistake? It was just on his way out. He would have got a lot out of John Hartson, so I don't believe that was a mistake. Do you know what I mean? 2 million for Glenn Helder, but he got sacked 2 days later. Limpar, £1.1 million, another £1 million signing. Exceptional. And I do believe when we had a lot of good seasons out of him, we went and, probably got our £1 million back. Went on to do a double. Did all Arsenal. I take your point, bros, but I would never want to finish 8th or 12th again. Saka, it should be Saka. So what should be Saka? Was I saying what about? So sorry, I'm so sorry. I'll speed up in the comments time. We knew that Arteta. We all know that Arteta will win the Caravan Cup on Wednesday. I hope he does, Bubs, because it will get too much for us in terms of games. We haven't got a squad fit enough for Saka to be playing in the Caravan Cup. Is my little chill, Bubs. I'll drop everyone's wages to pay him more. But, Bubs, he ain't the top earner. That's what I'm saying. So what? Your star boy. Bro, Real Madrid or Barcelona would buy Starboy tomorrow. You know that. Would they buy Havertz? Let me get the transfer, the official Arsenal player wages. Bros, you're going to be surprised, Maggie. Yeah? One moment. Right, guys, this one, the prick. Oh, no, it ain't. So again, Tyler. Where's Osman? Where's Odegaard? All right, they haven't updated Odegaard, so maybe Odegaard gets more, but I know Odegaard ain't on Kia Havertz wages. Bruv, let me tell you from the top here, because I'm going to cut the bullshit, bruv, yeah? Ty, at Arsenal, yeah? The top earner is Kia Havertz, our new signing from Chelsea. He earns a basic wage of 280 grand a week that goes up to about 330 on average with bonuses and provided Arsenal win. Yeah? Jesus is on 265 a week, yeah? Rice is on 250 a week. But again, with bonuses, I know he does hit Kia Havertz money. Thomas Partey, 200 grand a week. Saka, 200 grand a week. So Saka, 200 grand a week, Russ, you know what I mean? Saliba, 200 grand a week. So Saliba, Saka, Partey, all the 200 grand a week boys, you know what I mean? But at least Saliba 21 and still getting the same as a 31-year-old Partey who's been around and been at Atletico Madrid. I just don't think, bruv, the first two players should be our highest earners. Kia Havertz, Gabriel Jesus. Jesus was kicked out of Man City, bruv, for a reason, because he didn't score enough goals. He got 10 last year. How many is he on this year, Jesus? How many is Jesus on this season, bruv? Is it one? Is it none? I know he scored against PSV in the Champions League. Was that his first goal this season? One. That's why we're not top, bruv. That's why we've dropped points. Kia Havertz is our top earner. 65 mil marquee signing, bros. He's our top earner at the club. That's why I blame Kia Havertz for Arsenal not being top this season. Just on that, I say no more. Yeah, to get bros, we fucked around with Saka. Could have made him get run out of the club to Juventus or Liverpool or Man City, just so we could seal the deal for Havertz. You're actually right. Man City are 4 points better off than us than they were last season. Yeah, that's cool. That's what I'm saying, bros. And last season was a very weird season because we shouldn't have been second, bros. I'm saying that Liverpool was shit, Chelsea was shit, and Man City had a couple of rocky moments. That was our chance, like 2016, Leicester. That was our chance to win the league, but we bottled it. I get you, mate. Invincible, bros. Let me tell you straight. Invincible was a great season, bros. But no Man City team does draw 12 in a season. We drew 12 that year. Pep Guardiola deep down does laugh at our invincible year. Because remember, bros, we didn't collect as many points as Man City did, bros. You gotta think about it, let's be real. How many points did Arsenal get in the double year? Was it 84?
Here's what I found.
Sorry, invincible. How many points did Arsenal get in the invincible season?
Here's what I found.
Boom, boom, boom. Craig, answer that for me. I knew they drew 12, and drawing 12 is a lot of games. Fuck it, let's work it out. It's going to trigger me. 12 draws, 12 points. So what's that? What's the difference? 26, 36, 37, 20, 30, 26 times 3, 36, 9, 12. Yeah, fuck it, I'm bored of doing it. We don't. That invincible season statistically wasn't better than what Man City do right now. Why? Where are you going? Ty, we were very lucky. We weren't lucky to go invincible, bros. It ain't about luck. Just can someone tell me the points? Let me just run to the end of the answers. 90. You sure? Oh, cool. All right. What did Man City get? Apart from last year, but they probably got 90. What have Man City got the last 3-4 years, Manny? Please answer. The last 3-4 years. Yeah, all right, sweet, Manny. Fuck the maths. I get it. I know I'm live at the moment. I'm reading comments and reading all sorts. Danny Arsenal got 90 points. Sorry, and you've answered it as well. So hold on. What does Man City averagely finish? What did they finish last season, the last 3 seasons with? What did Man City finish? Was it more than 90? So what I'm saying is, Ty, even though it was a wonderful achievement, and I'll never take it away from Arsenal, what I'm saying is, bruvs, with 12 draws, you know what I mean? Fucking hell. I'm struggling to find where I'm. There we are. Night, everyone. We're lucky that, yeah. Yes, Hillier, John Jensen. Hillier through the academy. John Jensen was a 1.1 million signing, but that was Scandinavian. That could have been dodgy. One of the reasons why he got sacked. I don't think it was luck. Was a European champ with Denmark in '92, but didn't do that much of us. But he was a very. But see, you know what it was, bros? A lot of the fans, I don't want to say like Manny, they all judged him on that tournament and that wonderful goal. As he said to people, literally one of his first interviews, I don't score goals. They were like, are you going to score a lot like that for Arsenal? I don't score goals. That isn't my role. I am a very, very boring defensive midfielder. That's all he was. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember Stefan Schwarz, bruvs? That was a brilliant signing. There you go. Would you buy Havertz tomorrow, who actually earns more than him? Do you think it's fair, Tyler, that Havertz earns more than Starboy? Only conceded 18 goals. Question, can you see Man City team doing that? Yeah? I think when Arsenal conceded 18, bros, they didn't have Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, all the millions and the Saudi millions around them, even from the Newcastles. It's tougher now. But if there is a team equipped to do it, it would be Man City. What did Man City concede in the last 3 seasons then? Is it something absurd? Like 45 goals? Bros, I've always said about Odegaard, I love him, but that's why he shouldn't be captain. Yeah? Maybe it's too much responsibility for him. Unleash him, give it to Declan because, yeah. But again, Real Madrid, I know it was a great signing, 34 mil. I will never ever say anything bad about it. It was a 10 out of 10 signing, literally. But again, he must improve. Last season when we needed him most, when Saliba got injured, he was quiet in a lot of games. And I believe he'll do it to us again, starting with Man City in a week or so. You find the negative in everything. Man went the whole season unbeaten. You still... No. Again, I'm just saying, statistically, Man City can get 100 points in a season. But look at that. Man City got 100 points. So, bro, imagine that Invincible season was when Man City got 100 points. Would you be talking about the Invincibles now? But you know what, fam? We're fucking invincible, though. Did you win the league? Did you win the league? If it was done. You know what I mean? Bros, 100 points is light work. 90 points was probably the eclipse. We've probably never beaten it and never will. God bless Wenger's heart. But all them draws, bros, Man City ain't got time to draw 12 games in a season. Them 2 points that are lost, them games, bros, they're all 3 points for Man City. Fuck that talk. I've gone bare negative. No, bros. No, what are you talking about? Stay there. It's called a footy debate, bros. This is a footy debate. And that's what I love about this channel. It's a debate of a time. Who agrees more on the tie or the me and Craig thing? 89 last year, 93 the year before. 89 last year. Yeah, that's because they were up against us and we're shit. 93 the year before. Do you see what I mean? 86 the year before that. So that's what I'm saying. It's consistently high. I thought they were slightly higher than that. More into the 90s most of the time. Do you know what I mean? The guy that helped us beat Sampdoria in the 95. Shame about the final, though. The guy that helped us beat Sampdoria, surely David Seaman penalty shootout. Lee Akers, what's going on? You've come on a beautiful debate. We've pissed off Ty. He said I was being really negative and everything. I was just saying, like, statistically, like, Lee Akers, you're going to say I'm negative, but you didn't like Wenger anyway. Even in our Invincible season, yeah? Invincible. I was like, Man City, if the Man City were on song, bros, Man City would have still finished above us in the Invincible season. We drew 12 games, mate. I mean, we had 90 points. Man City can get 90 points when they put their mind to it pretty easily. Shouts out to you, Lee Akers. Guys, do get the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we is new. What's good, people? What is all good out here? See what I mean? I love a football debate because, look, we're already 50 minutes into the stream. I haven't thought about football news, anything. Do you know what I mean? Because I love it. Because it isn't about negative. As I say, I see problems from around the corner. As Lee Akers know I does. Do you know what I mean? And Lee Akers just knows I'm ballsy enough to call it out. Do you know what I mean? Again, Nketiah, Jesus, is any of them going to get over 10 goals this year? Is any of them going to get over 10 goals? Because we won't win the league with that. Simple as. 33 conceded last year by City, 26 year before that, 32 the year before that. That is slightly higher. That is slightly higher than I thought. That is slightly higher. But, bro, again, they're in Champions League deep every season, blah, blah, blah. They don't like to give away any cups, whether it's Caravan Cup or FA Cup, you know what I mean? But I do get you. Do you know what I mean? Room for improvement for everyone. But I'm just saying, there's just so much. We've got to improve on last year, bros, and I'm not seeing the improvement. Timber, unfortunate. Let's also bear in mind, we drew 13 in 1991, so there's actually a point of me there that thinks our invincible season is pretty good. However, we should have won the FA Cup and gone further in the Champions League. Exactly. But we're undefeated. But all I'm just saying is, Man City, in one of their perfect mad seasons, like Liverpool, I'm sure when they won the league, they got over 90 points, mate. So that's over what we got in the invincible years. Liverpool went invincible. But they won the league. They had to be. You see, when Liverpool, this is my point. When Liverpool nicked the championship of Man City, they had to be perfect. Their first 28 league games of the season, I believe they won 26 or 27 in a row. Are we equipped to win 27, 26 games from now in a row? Because that's what it takes to win the English Premier League. Yeah, though, 3 of those draws come in the final 5 games when the league was already wrapped up. Very true. But very true. But still, yeah, very truly. But then I'm sure Man City has had at least one season when they've wrapped it up about it in December. And, you know what I mean? They could have said the same. I don't know. I do take your point, Lee. But, yeah, when we wrapped it all up, we weren't going to lose from there. We had people like Vieira and Petit in the team. That's when you can manage a game. Like I said, the reason why we spent £105 million on Declan Rice early. Lee, I'm going to say this and see what your thoughts on this is, Lee. I think we've almost lost a march on the last window. It's unfortunate, Timber. Rice was brilliant. It's the Havertz that is really bad at 65 mil. Like, honestly, on Wednesday in the Caravan Cup, sounds like my car. I would try Havertz in the number 9 shot, in the number 9 role. Oh, it's a guy trying to be Danny, you know, trying to take my exact parking place behind me, trying to run up on the pavement, avoiding tickets out of here. But yeah, as I said, games are vital, bros. We've got Man City soon. What's your heart and soul telling you about Man City, Lee? Do we beat Man City? After Brentford, we've got 3 away games in a row. Brentford, Bournemouth, Lens. And straight after Champions League, away at Lens, it's home. Saturday, Man City. Pardon me, sorry. Are you confident, Lee? Like, a draw, I think, would be great. Do you know what I mean? Would still be 4 points behind. But do you feel Arsenal can actually get 3 points against them with their no Rodri, no Stones? Do you know what I mean? What if we've got no Rice? Are you confidently? That's what I'm saying. How much have we improved on last season, as in... Like, the more and more I look at the Xhaka thing, but we got 21.5 mil, it looks like a bad deal. If now you're playing Fabio Vieira against Tottenham in the North London derby, or Jorginho against Tottenham in the North London derby. It's a really good point we made in our group, bruv. Nelson, Nketiah, Smith Rowe, Jorginho, all finished on the pitch in the North London derby. Luca can get into this, because it ain't just negative, Luca. But honestly, love him or hate him, Emil Smith Rowe, love him or hate him, Nelson, love him or hate him, Jorginho, love him or hate him, Nketiah. Are them 4 players good enough to be on the pitch finishing in the North London derby. So it just goes to show. Do you know what I mean? How much have we honestly improved on last season? Timber would have been a great defender and would have been better than Rice. And at least if the left back Zinchenko went down, at least he could have played left back as well. Because I believe this season he was going to be a left back. And Thomas Partey may have been a right back for parts this season. Because I've already been told, and I've got good sources, believe me, real sources at the club. And I've been told if Thomas Partey was fit and available right now, he'd be considered only as a right back. Why? Why would Arteta do that? Mate, I'll speak to you in a minute. So they're massive key points. So basically, Lakers, my massive point is here tonight is the next 2 windows need to be perfect. Not just throwing loads of money at it. If we can be sensible, seriously, just get our Tierney Tavares back, even though it won't happen to the end of the season. Sell them. Get 35 mil for the pair. Get 30 mil for Emil Smith Rowe. We're going to sell Partey. Get 30, 35 for him. That's like, I mean, that's like 110 there. With 110, and even if we only got 50 million like last January, that's 160 to spend. You can go and sort out key positions. We need another central defender, bros, badly. Because if Saliba or Gabriel goes down, bros, it's Jacob or White. We will be in a bad way. And I've been hearing, yeah, that kid that I like, Osman Diamonde, he could be out of fucking Portugal by fucking January. Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG, Newcastle, Man United, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal are all looking at this kid. You know, when I tell you about a kid, bros, he's good. We need a little left back. We need a central midfielder. But will Arteta admit he's wrong? I don't want Martin Zubimendi, but there's a lot of links looking at him. 52 million euro release clause. That's what, 42, 43 million pounds. Not very expensive. Left-footed. Plays that kind of central midfield role, I'd imagine Arteta would like. But the next 2 windows have to be vital. I reckon we need 5 positions filled. Yeah? Centre back, left back, centre mid, winger, striker. If we could attack 2 of them in no particular order in January, yeah? Say it was left back and centre back. It's left back and centre back, even though it's boring. Yeah? That means the next summer, we've got 3 players to look for. A central midfielder, an orthodox winger, because look now, we're relying on Nelson. Did he save us in the North London derby? No. Where was Trossard? We know he's injured, so that's harsh, but fuck me. I've said we need an orthodox winger, the Rafinha type of winger. Anyway, good news. Good news. Partey, Rice, Gabby, and also Leo are all fit for City. But I'll believe it when I see it. Partey will be considered probably as a right back, though. So I was in meltdown. Now tonight, I feel positive, Danny. Brother, we've seen with back injuries. Look at Saliba. He pulled up with a very, very normal looking injury last season. We didn't see him for the rest of the season, bros. Back injuries are dodgy. I hope that these reports are right. Do you know what I mean? Because back injuries are dodgy. What Arsenal need to do Wednesday is play kids. Saturday, do not risk Rice against Bournemouth. Exactly, and surely not. As I said, my team, and please wait there, Lee, is very simple for Brentford. Ramsdale in goal. At right back, Reece Walters. Left back, Jacob, because we've got no other left back. Centre back, El Neni, and hold on. Tommy left back and centre back, Jacob and El Neni. Yeah? Central midfield, Anwari, Emil Smith Rowe, and Jorginho. Left wing Dewberry, right wing Nelson. Up front, I put Kia Havertz. Who knows? Imagine he scored 2 and we won 2-0 away at Brentford in the Caravan Cup and he scored both up front. Could be a little morale booster for him. What Arteta needs to do is admit that it's... Oh, why have I sparked a fresh one? Admit that it's wrong and just not play him in the central midfield. But good point, Luca. Arsenal almost did the invincible in 91, only losing 1 game throughout the whole season. To Chelsea, yes. If Tony Adams wasn't in court that day, I believe we would have been invincible that year. Yes, indeed. Indeed. But, yeah. I don't know. All these historic things now, I know. But, yeah. Football is much... I'm not saying it wasn't even under Wenger and invincible. But, bros, every season it's just tougher. I knew it wasn't going to be easier to get top 4 this year than last year. I knew it was going to be tougher. Liverpool were going to be better. I thought Chelsea would be better, but fuck me. When that really could have lost it, they dominated us that night. Are you okay? Luca in the house. Good evening. Wednesday play kids. Saturday don't play Rice. Don't think he'll do. Definitely won't be available on Saturday, man. Which should never have been a penalty. Yes, Martin Keown. We had some luck along the way, that's for sure. And every team needs luck, bro. So we're not talking about luck, la la la. I'm just talking about the blatant, just basics. Do you know what I mean? Like, last season was good. I said we need to get rid of Rob Holding. But we needed a central defender replacement. You know what I mean? Ben White might have been the plan to come back in the middle if Timber and Zinni are both fit. But that went out the window. That should have been accounted for, Lee Akers. And get a goal draw against City at home. But we'll have to be faultless. Remember when they beat us 2-1 when Arteta had COVID? We were fucking almost faultless that day, bros, and they still beat us. Just what I mean. You have to be perfect. I'm not just talking to win the league. Even like this is how good Man City are. They could have a stinker on Wednesday, even though it doesn't happen often. But if they're playing Arsenal on Saturday, bros, that's it. It's back to like full of professionalism. And you won't get them bitching. Rodri suspended and Stones is out. Even if Haaland is out, they'll have Alvarez. Exactly. Well, we ain't got Xhaka no more, bruv. Do you know what I mean? But again, this is why you don't want the Jorginhos in the team, bruv. Costly mistakes. You don't want Jorginho there. You need your perfect 11. Good point, Lee. We know that Arteta will bin the Caravan Cup on Wednesday. Arteta, bigger fish to fry. Well, cool, bruvs, because I want to see Nwari. I wouldn't mind Sousa at left back. I wouldn't mind Lewis Skelly in midfield. Havertz are very much like up front. That Walters, that's always around our bench, that defender, give him a go. Because I don't believe the current team can cope with Caravan Cup anyway. So what are we moaning about? It can't cope with Caravan Cup, FA Cup, Champions League. You know what I mean? Because believe me, when we play Lons on that Wednesday, that'll be the third away game in a row. Brentford away, Bournemouth away, Lons away. Then very sharply on Saturday, Man City home. It's going to start catching up with us. People are saying Starboy's looking tired. We were saying this last season. Starboy cannot play 60 games a season. Mate, thing is, Arsenal, what? Are they really serious for Tony? Tony linked for Arsenal or Chelsea. He's going to choose us pretty obviously. Well, yeah, he kind of says he was a Liverpool fan at heart, but he was always loved Arsenal. So he sounds like really an Arsenal fan. Also, an interview about a year ago, he made a never vital mistake. No, about a year and a half ago. I wish I could clip it to you, Luca, because I bet you haven't seen it. Arsenal is shit. We're struggling at Arteta sort of scenario, finishing 8th, no European football. And Tony was just talking Arsenal. He was like, yeah, Arsenal, like they're a really good team. Like right now, all they need is a striker that scores goals. Lee Akers, remember? Lee Akers, do you remember that interview? And he kind of stopped like, oh, shit. Because they were like, oh, what? Are you trying to say you're the right striker for Arsenal? So he's already fucked up on his sort of love for Arsenal about a year and a half ago when Arsenal weren't doing as good. Do you know what I mean? Basically suggesting that all Arsenal need is someone like me. I think the links would be real, Luca, at the right price. But the thing is, here's why I doubt it, Luca. We sold Balogun for 40 mil, and we already knew we only had Jesus and Nketiah just like last season. So I don't believe the plan was ever to buy a striker. Hence why I wasn't that angry as I am now about Havertz, because I believed with selling Balogun, even though I didn't think it was the perfect striker signing, I thought maybe because he could play so many positions, I actually thought Havertz was bang on. And Lee Akers also remember me saying this. I thought Havertz was actually going to be that number 9 guy this season, because I couldn't figure out why we spent 65 million on him. So I was pretty convinced by selling Balogun for 40, we were bringing in another striker, Havertz, for 65. So I don't believe it really is true, the link, mate. I believe he went through last season with 2 strikers, and by selling Balogun, he already knew he was going to go through this season with 2 strikers. And do you remember, around January time last year, he had Jesus and Nketiah out. As Jesus was out, Nketiah come back in. He only had 1 striker at times last season. So please answer me back on that. I don't see it being very true. If there was bottomless and unlimited money, I'd say he'd go for it. But for me, he'll do something dumb. He'll find a Jorginho or a Trossard or a Jacob to find in January. Because again, like Van Persie says, like Henry says, like Vieira said before he got high-profile manager jobs like in the Premier League, like with Crystal Palace, Arsenal is a club that deserves respect. You shouldn't be going to Arsenal to learn on the job. Learn as you make mistakes. Learn as you succeed. At Arsenal Football Club, you should already be a particular type of manager, a winner, someone at the top, a household name. So Vieira said it, Petit, Gallas. What more do I need to say? Van Persie said it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. Chelsea could blow us out of the market, but again, they've got their own problems. They might have an unsettled manager or a sacked manager by then. Lee, I'm afraid to say I've noticed that, and it was the first game of the season. I'm sure I texted you, Nottingham Forest. I was like, bruvs, where's the togetherness? We didn't have the same togetherness. Like, it almost seemed like Havertz really messed with things. Do you know what I mean? Like, Rice is wonderful. We can see that, but we've put a lot of pressure on him, bruvs. And it isn't so much regressed, bruvs. As I said, for me, if we had Harry Kane last year, bruvs, we win the league with his 30 goals. Yeah? We didn't improve that. So I actually can't see that many more goals. I set them a target of 20 between them. Yeah? Nketiah and Jesus. That's how much lack of faith I got in them. Do you know what I mean? The defence. Timber, what a kick in the bollocks. So that's the other main signing. So I don't even count Havertz as a signing, yeah? Timber would have improved the defence. Again, versatile. Do you know what I mean? So I'd like to have seen what he done with him. Because I'm wondering sneakily, he played him in left back, bros, but we could do this all night and all night and all night. Phone me if you like after the stream, Lee. Was Zinchenko going to play left centre midfield this season at times? Because he played Timber at left back, Tommy on tour, he played Tierney, he played everyone at left back. Do you know what I mean? And I believe he started against Forest at left back. Am I right? I'm sure Ben White and Saliba were centre back against Forest. He started Timber at left back. So why would he start Timber at left back? Timber, I think, was the progression of maybe not even liking Zinni, but he already got rid of 2 left backs. So I don't get that, or probably believe that. I don't know. I always said Partey was probably on his way. The Gabriel thing will start again. But yeah, bros, when you take love or hate Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka out of the team, mate, even with Rice, there was still just something in that central field. And it was Havertz, and he weren't cutting it. And Vieira, he ain't going to do it there now. I bet you my bottom dollar, Emil Smith will probably start. But if you really are intent on playing a guy in the centre of midfield, give him Emil Smith role. He can't be as bad as Vieira or Havertz, or can't do no worse, should I say. Rice will not be available for Man City again. Look at how many games Saliba missed. Bro, I hope he is, I don't know. Lost off that the Gabriel lost his head. Which day, sorry, Lee? For a back injury. I do know the pen that they got was questionable, and Gabby missed an open goal. So unlucky that day. Sorry, which day? Was in the Hercules on Hollow Road after the game yesterday. Was banging in there. Which one's the Hercules? Which one's the old Hercules? Like, Lee, if you was faced with January, the question of just Jacob or a Jorginho type signing, or would you sacrifice? But these are 2 players that are in the 25-man squad for league and, more importantly, whether it's more important, Champions League. Yeah? If we sold Ramsdale for 60 mil and Partey for 35, I reckon there's a goalkeeper that can replace Ramsdale out there. You got to find better than Turner. I'm thinking now, bruv, because again, when we spent that 200 million, bruv, if you look at it, By selling Balogun, by selling Turner, by selling Axaka, by selling Holding, we've spent the same as we spend every year, 120, 130. So every summer we spend 130. The bonus last season was the 52 in January that I didn't say was something for a club pointing in that way. Again, I agree with you on Trossard, and he has been good this season. I'd love to have seen him yesterday. Again, I know it ain't his fault, but yeah. Ramsdale, Walters, Tommy, Jacob, Zinni. Why would you play Zinni? So this is where I'm going to stop you, bros. I would do anything apart from that. Why would you play the only left back at the club in a Caravan Cup game? I just don't feel to read out the rest of your team now. But anyway, Jorginho, El Neni, Smith Rowe, Nelson, Eddie, Havertz. Bros, why would you play Zinni? I don't mind if we get knocked out of the League Cup. We always get knocked out in the third round. I think we should sacrifice League Cup. So you shouldn't be having players like that out. It should be Nwari, Dewberry, Skelly, Souza. Havertz up front because he's a cunt. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you know that, bruv. Look at this club needs a try. And see, and then there's the Liakers out there. See, Lee, I'm being up myself there. Again, bruvs, I'm saying we're a defensive injury away. Like, he's willing to put our only left back at the club in a League Cup game. Lee, are you willing to do that? How do you think we should go, Lee? Give me your 11 then, bruvs. Because I think we have to go the Nwaris and Dewberrys. Bruvs, Pep Guardiola is already after Dewberry. That Amari and Cozier Dewberry, the left winger. And Nwari, bruvs, hasn't signed a contract like before. In 6 months' time, he has the decision on his 17th birthday. Does he sign a professional contract at Arsenal or leave us? Do you know what I mean? I'm live, bro. It's not the time. It would have to be. What's up? I'm live. Come to the channel. He has to make a decision in 6 months' time. Remember, I told you that, Lee Nwari. Nwari wants minutes, bro. Jonathan Cross said, "We are approach for Tony. If we really are, then why didn't we pre-contact with Tony Combs and involved Eddie swap?" But there was already the swap. I've had someone on my channel last night, I don't know if you see it, that said that it was already pretty much done, but then the ban fucked us all up. That a deal was done pretty much before Havertz, before Rice. Like, we'd already agreed it, but then he got banned and everything. I don't believe that story, what someone said on my stream last night, and it was Eddie Nketiah and Ivan Toney swap. That ticks a lot of boxes for me, bros. It gets Eddie the Clown out, and you don't lose nothing, as in the 25-man squad, you need at least English or English-born or English-qualified players. It ticks boxes, bruv. I don't know. Eddie and how much money? Because now, the more I think about it, it makes sense. But I still think they'll try and knock us. But I'd bid Eddie and 40 mil and try and get it over and done with very quickly. The more I think about that deal, that makes fucking sense to me. Going to sleep now, mate. Catch you soon. Let's hope. Are you with me, Champions League, as well? When is it? It's not this week, though. You can jump on Caravan Cup if you like. Big up you in the chat. And get up me on, it's called Twitter. Why can't we pre-contact players? Well, bros, it happens, bros. Tottenham have signed a 16-year-old kid today from, I don't know, Poland, Romania or somewhere. Do you know what I mean? He's coming in. It does happen, bros. You know what I mean? There is the sort of thing of tapping up, you know what I mean? International meetups, you know what I mean? This player gets told that. We all know it still happens, you know what I mean? Arsenal just mystify me on how we do things. We should be talking to people already. If it was really done with Ivan Toney, why ain't it done now? Just for example. That's why I don't believe Ivan Toney, even though, yeah, he won't be cut-tied from Champions League or whatever. But what if he's ring rusty when he comes in? He hasn't played for 7-8 months, the fucking gambling addict prick. I may start listening to you if Ramsdale doesn't play. But he will play Wednesday. He's got to play Wednesday, bro. It makes sense because it's League Cup. He will play Wednesday. But what it is, yeah, come Champions League, or more to the point, Man City after, it's rare in goal, bruvs. Arteta seems to have made up my mind. You should always listen to me, bruvs. And I'm telling you what's going to happen. And we'll put it down just like Emi Martinez. It will be a financial decision. He'll be sold and we'll buy a quick back goalkeeper, bruvs. Who else has he been linked with? Remember before he bought Ramsdale? He always wanted Raya, bruvs. But we got quoted 40, 45 mil. Lee said laughed it off, yeah. But again, that Southampton keeper is not that bad. 21, 22 years old, 20, 30 caps for Ireland. He gets peppered every week for Southampton. And he ends up making more. He's like a little Pickford. Like Everton get fucked over every week, but Pickford seems to still play all right. But there's got to be better goalkeepers even than Gavin Bazzuno. I'm just saying, I know you can get him for 15, 20 mil right now. And if you can get 60 for Ramsdale, you can use that 60 and go and get Osman Diamonde. He's got a 69 million release clause from Sporting, for example. That covers that. Sell Thomas Partey for 35 mil. Do you know what I mean? You go and get rid of that. Sell Emil Smith Rowe. We can finance what we need to do in January if we do it right. If we've done what we needed to do. Hold on out, bros. I'm coming off the thing in 1 minute. Go on. What's up? You good? Yeah, I can hear you. Go on. I'm live on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I might. I don't. Yeah, let me call it just in case. You never know how sensitive my mic is, isn't it? Yeah, go on. Go on. Yeah, go on. Yeah, I know, right. Do you know what? Let me call you in a hot. I'm coming off now. I'm going to call you in a hot 3 minutes, yeah? I'm going to finish my point. Respect, love, brother. Where was I? Shouts out to all the real ones, though. We do be getting the likes on the video. I do love a conversation like this. As I said, I haven't even went into today's football news, and we're already an hour and 16 minutes in. I'm going to just basically in one. No, let me try and answer. Where was I? Start listening to you. If Ramsdale doesn't play Wednesday, I'll not be surprised, but it may to drop Aaron in this game. He definitely will, bros. But as I'm saying, it could be a smart financial decision. See, if Chelsea tap him up and get the deal done in early December, we'll know the 60 million is safe. So that 60 million can be used towards that. We already know Thomas Partey ain't a part of the plans, bros. We're trying to get rid of him before the African Nations Cup, yeah? If we can get 30, 35 mil for him. Rumours Juventus, but I think they're broke. Italian teams always ramp at us. Look at David Ospina. Emil Smith Rowe, the little fat boy now, I'd sell him. The only shame is we lose one player off the English quota. Hence why people like that Reece Waters is still around. But guys, I've got an important call to make. I'm going to go. Why would we sell Eddie for Tony? You need 3 strikers. I know, but he's happy to go with 2 for some reason. He went with 2 last year and he went with 2 this summer, bros. But you don't need 3 sort of the same level strikers. You need a good striker, and I don't believe Tony is that much up there. I don't believe he's that much better than Jesus. Eddie, though, do the swap all day long. You need a first striker option. Good. Go be a centre forward. Tony money, right. Haven't we used Balogun money? So 40 million goes on it. Sell Emil Smith Rowe 40 million, 80 million for Tony. Then sell Tierney and Nuno at the end of the season. That'll make another 50. Get a centre back or a winner. Or again, there is the Thomas Partey team. As I say, sell him. We don't want him. African Nations Cup coming up. He's going to miss the whole of January. Let's have it right. Let's do a deal now with someone. Get him gone. But see, Juventus are going to know he's on African Nation, so it ain't going to be that easy to sell Thomas Partey. 200 grand a week. That's why he ain't gone already. Tommy Flynn's, yeah. As for Emil Smith Rowe, bro, with no minutes, not even West Ham is going to give you 40 million for him. So I don't know. It's all going to be tough, bros. Emil Smith Rowe needs a few minutes for us to get money for him. Respect to you, bros. But we shall see. As again, back injury. Saliba missed a chunk of last season. It lost us a title with a back injury, and was on about the Man City game. Oh, we lost at home. Okay, nice one, Lee. I get it now, and I do remember. Then we'll rip into Miko again. If Rice wasn't available for City, then Miko basically lied to us. But again, it is a PR thing. He ain't going to say much. He is a lying little bastard. I don't believe he knows. I believe, obviously, it isn't a major injury, and you definitely won't see him before Man City, bros. Definitely. Dean Henderson would have, but that's it, bros. It ain't no more loans from Man United. He wanted to settle his life down. I would have took him £20 million. Yes, that's the sort of, you know what I mean? Possibly Gavin Bazzuno. Do you know what I mean? Not many keepers have played fucking 20, 30 international games at 21 years old. There's a way to finance this. Again, I'll do it quickly. I would force the clubs to give me back Nuno Tavares and Tierney, unrealistic or not. 10 for thing, 25 for him. That's 35 for the both. 35 and 35 with Thomas Partey is 70. Say 30 of Emil Smith Rowe. That's 100 mil. Who have I forgot? Ramsdale, 60 mil. That's 160. With 160, mate, I do a lot. Rafinha, 70 mil. I've still got 90 mil to spend from 160. So 70 mil Rafinha, 70 mil or 60 mil because it's euros is release clause. So 60 mil Osman Diamonde. So that's 60 and 60. That's 130 I've spent. I've got 30 million to spend. Centre back and a winger. With that 30 million, I offered that to Brentford with Eddie Nketiah, and I bring in Ivan Toney, and I've spent zero, and I've just got you Ivan Toney, Rafinha, and Osman Diamonde. Osman Diamonde, they can't say no. It's a 60 million, just shy of 60 million release clause. Bang, I would do that. Ivan Toney, depending on who bids, they can't ask 100 mil, bro. He's a fucking gambling sheet. He's this, he's that. Fuck that. Nah, bros. You get 30 million in Eddie Nketiah. I hear you. I'd rather Maddison, but it's a financial decision, bros. I'm saying if we had zero to spend in January, but you get rid of Partey, Emil Smith-Rowe, Tierney, Tavares, and Ramsdale, but you get yourself Diamonde, Rafinha, and Ivan Toney. What's the more of a risk, bros? What's more of a risk? You know I'm right, Luca. You know I'm right. And if you don't want to get Ivan Toney, you could save money and be in the green in the bank balance and go and spend £43 million on Martin Zubimendi. That means you've got Diamonde, Zubimendi, and Rafinha. You understand? If you get a little budget, you could get all four. I'm doing this on finance and within. I think 30 million for Emil Smith-Rowe is realistic. I think 30, 35 for Partey is realistic. I think 60 for Ramsdale is realistic. Current climate, people need goalkeepers. Even Liverpool spent over 70 on a goalkeeper. I thought Maddison was the best player on the pitch yesterday. Again, I blame Arteta for that. Edu. And it even filled the English quota. They're the same age. Why on earth did we fork out that for Havertz? Or we could have had Maddison. The only difference is Maddison isn't so versatile, but Maddison's triple the player. I just will never get it. Steve was the only player who come away with any credit for us. Exactly. And bros, I built a YouTube channel basically on sack Arteta, play Saliba, bring Saliba back from loan. You know this, Lee, factually. I'm a G. I always know. I knew Saliba was better than any defender at our club. The first training clips I saw, that 45 minutes away at Wimbledon, his only game for the club until he got sent out on loan. I knew he was better than every defender at the club then. Arteta didn't sign him, didn't like him. Do you know what I mean? He rocked up into the change room one day. I was like, what? Where's my number? What, number 2? I'm the best here. Fuck you, Bellerin. You know what I mean? I am the best defender here, and I don't believe Arteta liked the attitude. But what can I say? Guys, 1 hour 22 on the clock. It has been phenomenal. It has been amazing. I've enjoyed this stream, every last single minute of it. Big up Dedication TV, WB, Luca, Lee Akers, UE, Daniel He, Linda, who went to bed and earlier off, Manny, Luca, I think I might have said him already. Shouts out to Craig in the stream, Arsenal forever. Anyone I've missed, Tyler, all the real ones. Yeah, please hit the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. You know I love all y'all guys. I'll be back 10 p.m. tomorrow. What's going on? I don't know if there's boxing for the weekend. But yeah, we'll get up with all the latest Arsenal news. We know it's Brentford next. It's Caravan Cup settings, etc. Love, peace out, and God bless people. I will speak to you tomorrow, 10 p.m. Bit of a preview for Brentford, and hopefully we can fish out a bit of injury news and see if Anwari, Dubry, Skelly, any of the kids have a chance of playing in a Caravan Cup, or will Arteta try and be like Pep Guardiola again, mini Pep, and try and play his full strength team like he's Man City out here. Peace out, God bless people.